Shalom and good day all, this is Hitomi29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering Samurai Sonja issue 5 and Hitomi issue 4. I'll now get things prepared for the one that will be reviewed first. So as we jump into Samurai Sonja issue 5 through Dynamite, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it actually does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal story art as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as this story begins, around the beginning of the book, we get a bit of a history around Samurai Sonja Takeda's history in this particular universe and how she became a samurai, plus her connection to her the sword, how the sword is also a connection to her father. As we start to draw into what's happening in her present day, we see that she's up against an Oni, or a demon. We also see that she goes up against the dragon and kills the dragon with the sword that was given to her by her father. And she moves closer towards the building and encounters another demon. The fight, of course, with the demon pursues until, of course, we reach the end of the story, and she ends up meeting up with a number of the people who have died on the field, as she's arrived there a little bit too late. One thing I will say about this art, it has been consistent each and every issue, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story rating. First things first, did we get anything in relation to area of time? No, we didn't. Location, we know it's taking place in Japan. And the cast of characters, of course, Sonja Takeda, and also some of the demons plus dragons that were killed. Overall story rating for this, I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Hitomi issue 4. So, as we jump into Hitomi issue 4, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? In some essence it does, as we also get a little bit of a back history around one of the characters, to which I give it a 7 out of 10 for the cover. Now it's time to move into the internal art, as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise. And as this story begins, we jump immediately into a flashback around one of the characters, and this actually links to one of the characters that will be teaching Hitomi how to become a samurai. And I must admit, I think the way that this story was done was better than that Netflix version around the famous Black Samurai. In fact, I felt the story in this was a little bit better than that one. So big thanks to that. I like the way they executed this in the story. Of course, we move into the area to which they basically get the head of state's blessing, or the head of the area's blessing, to confirm this for her training. Then we finally move into a little bit more advanced training, so we get to see those people using spears being used somewhat like javelins to practice striking an opponent. We also get to see a bit of a camp happening around with the other students or warriors. We get to see a little bit more around her instructor, or her sensei, and also one of his love interests. As the story continues, we get to see a little bit more fighting occur and what look to be bandits. Drawing closer towards the end, we get to meet more of the locals, though we don't get them all by name. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, again because of the consistency. Moving into the next area, and that is the area of time. Did we get any indication of times? We got the year of 1590 or 1590 AD. Of course, the location takes place in Japan, and the only key character that I could make out was Hitomi, and it would have been better if they included the names of pretty much everyone that we encountered in this particular issue. But overall, I'm giving this story a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.